Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new around here, I am Kelly and I make art related videos on this channel. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Procreate update 4.2, some of the new features. We're going to be doing a little bit of digital art and talking about my new project. So let's jump in and take a quick look at all of the new updates on Procreate. I am so excited to use and try to figure out some of these new features. I am still very new to digital art, so I thought I would do some studies in Procreate today in preparation for my new project. So as I said, I am very new to digital art. I just got into it this year and I bought my iPad Pro and Apple Pencil just to get kind of into it and dip my feet in the water and see if I do like digital art, and I do. The reason why I tried digital art was because honestly Will Terry makes it look so cool. I just couldn't resist, and I saw that a lot of artists were using the iPad Pro, the Apple Pencil, and the Procreate app, and all of these new updates look so amazing and I cannot wait to try them out. I didn't try them out on this official study. I'm trying to keep things simple because honestly, you have to walk before you can run, and I'm very, very new to this still. And though I've been playing with this for months, I haven't been actually taking any classes, and recently I watched a class on SVS Learn last night, 10 Steps to Digital Painting by Will Terry himself. I'm sorry, my dog is snoring in the background, you guys. I know it's unnecessary background noise, but I wanted to get a feel for each of the features and try a project like little simple studies with each of the brushes just so I can understand how the brushes work and how to modify, and I want to learn how to make my own brushes. But before I do all that, I need to go straight to the basics and figure out how I want to work. So for this study, I went on pixabay.com and found a nice wolf picture and then cropped it, and then as you'll see, I'll just be zooming in on the one eye here to try to get a nice replication of this eye. I decided to go ahead and do my sketch with the 6B pencil, and it's very similar to what like a regular pencil would work like, and you can modify your size and opacity with that little sidebar there that keeps popping out and being a little bit distracting. And then after I get my sketch all in place, I decided that I really wanted to focus on using the airbrush tool, and I used the soft airbrush, and being able to modify the size and the opacity, I figured that would let me get a really good feel for that tool. And I really like the result of how this piece came out. It's really funny because as I was watching Will Terry's class, I mean, Jake Parker was in the class too, managing comments and whatnot, but he works very similar the way I do. I guess he was originally an acrylic artist, and I haven't done a lot of work in acrylics, but he approaches digital art the same way he works traditionally. And that's how I want to use digital art. I don't want to constantly be doing the double tap feature, which erases lines. I want to work as I would traditionally. So instead of double tapping, I'm usually going, and I do it occasionally just because it is easier sometimes, but I prefer to go up to the eraser tool and use the eraser as I would in traditional art. Partly because I don't want to get too used to the digital aspect of things, and I don't want to be able to do something digitally that I cannot do traditionally. So everything that I'm learning digitally, I want to be able to apply that to the way I work traditionally and on paper with paints and things like that. So those are the tools that I'm going to be limiting myself to today. And I have to say, I'm actually very impressed with how realistic you can get something to look digitally. I thought that was very, very cool. Okay, so another thing, one of the updates that Procreate 4.2 has that the old version didn't is clipping masks. Now, I did not use that in this piece, but I had no idea what clipping masks were, and I was very confused as to go, like, I'm not a high-tech person. I don't really, I mean, like, I know what I have to know for YouTube, and that's it. So as far as dipping my feet into digital art, I have no idea what some of these things are and what some of these features are. So my main goal is to work, like I said, how I would work traditionally. And so one of the new features is clipping masks. And I was very confused about it at first, but a light bulb went off in my head, and I figured out that you would use clipping masks the way that I use masking fluid in my traditional art. So now that I have that mindset, I feel like it's a lot easier to go into Procreate and like use clipping masks where I would use masking fluid. So that is one of the new tools that I will be very excited to try out. They do have a liquify tool that just came out, and they showed that on the dragon piece, and I'm excited to use that too, but though I'm dipping my feet into digital art, I don't plan on just working digitally. I don't like the idea of not having an original. So my goal with digital art here is to do studies like this one. And I really like to sketch in here and build my composition. And I would like to kind of replicate some of Will Terry's 10-step digital painting process into that, and just kind of take it to the color comp stage. I don't really want to finish anything digitally, and I know that might sound weird, but like, I'm just not the type of person that, I mean, I'm never going to say never, and I might want a Cintiq one day, but as of right now, unless I get into animation, I just don't really want to be sitting at my desk in front of a computer all day. Why I bought the iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil was so I could make a video for you guys anywhere and dip my feet into the digital art and spend some more time on my composition and designing and color comping of my pieces. So I just wanted to mention that, just because, you know, like, to lay everything flat out on the table, is that I'm not an expert with digital art, and I don't plan to become an expert with digital art, if that makes any sense. I don't plan on taking my pieces to the final until, I mean, I might want to at some point, but like I said before, like, not having an original just breaks my heart. I don't know why, like, it just, at this point, I don't sell my originals. So they just kind of sit in my portfolio, but it's nice to know that I always have that original in case I lose my scanned copy and somebody else wants a print of it and things like that. Like, I like the safety net of having an original, and then obviously your originals are worth more money when you get to that stage. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the study that I'm working on here. There's only 2 layers in this piece, well, including the background layer in quotation marks, which is the white, and then my sketch layer, and then on top of that layer I did the airbrush layer. So a total of 3 layers. I figured I would keep everything really simple, and this is just a study. Like, I think I worked probably an hour and a half on this, just to kind of get a feel for the airbrush and how it works and how the colors do, and with the opacities, what you can accomplish with certain opacities in the layering process. Because as you guys know, I love to layer. I like to layer. I like to work in some translucent colors so you can see the depth of a painting, and I'm really into that. So it's very important for me that I could achieve that digitally for some reason. I don't know why. It's really funny. So then I went in and I had no idea how to go about trying to draw any kind of fur in digital art. So I went in to the artistic section and I found a sable brush, and I liked the way it was short, It was short enough. It was very similar to how I work in colored pencil, so I found a nice texture that I liked, and then I just kind of built up the layers, and I was paying attention to my reference photo, but like I said, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this. I was just kind of getting a feel for everything, and I would take my brush in whichever color, and I would pay attention to what direction the fur was going in, and just around the eye, it was going in a ton of different directions. So I think that did help me out a little bit. It probably would have turned out a lot better if I kept on working on it, but like I said, this is just a quick little study. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on it, which brings me to my next subject. This study, and on this channel, we're going to be doing a lot of studies and getting ready for my next project. My next project is going to be called A Year of Red, and it's basically, I'm going to be designing a calendar based on Red Riding Hood. So the whole calendar is going to have 12 to 13 images of a Red Riding Hood based illustration or painting or whatever. I do want to work in watercolor and gouache with a little bit of colored pencil, and then I want to bring my dip pen in since I didn't get to use that too much during Inktober for my line work. And I really want to take some time and do some in-depth anatomy studies, wolf studies, human studies, clothing studies, landscapes, seasons. Like I want the whole thing to be so nice and cohesive and really look like really nice and polished, like I put a lot of time into it. I am giving myself 1 year to complete this, so the calendar won't be available until probably next November, December, because I know we're going to be doing Inktober again, so I want to make sure I give myself enough time to get this all together and looking nice and design some pins and bookmarks and things like that. And I also want to make sure that I have enough time for self-care, the kids, the holidays, and all of those good things. So here's the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little Procreate update digital art and my new project video. So if you would like to see more of A Year of Red related content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you get notified of all my new uploads, and I'll see you in the next one.